back, everyone, to another episode of Let's Talk Terror with Friends, the show where we dive into horror's monsters and mischief makers. And I have a treat for you because today's guest is a total scream. I'm joined by comedian Samantha Hale, whose stand-up special, Samantha Hale Horror Nerd, blends razor-sharp comedy with an unapologetic love for horror, just like me. She's hilarious, she's spooky, and she's here to talk about horror, comedy, and some pretty relatable moments in her life that just happen to be horrific and comedic. So buckle up while this Scream Queen takes the stage. Hello, Samantha. I'm so happy you're here. Before we get into it, please tell the audience who you are and a quick rundown of what you do.
I've been asking myself those questions my entire career. So my name is Samantha Hale. I am the host and creator of a stand-up comedy show called Horror Nerd. And I always have to say there's no W. It's Horror Nerd. And I still to this day people be like, "So what do you do? You're a horror host?" And like, "Yeah, yeah." So basically, I created this show. It's a live stand-up comedy show that I base out of the Hollywood Improv. We've been running it there for 4 years, where the comics are only allowed to talk about horror. Like that's it, that's all. And I'm like, and if you try to do the little dating is scary, right? I'm like, I will kick you out. So it's legit like all horror material. And I was doing it for long enough that I had all of this material specifically on horror. And I thought, you know what? This is going to be my next special. So myself and Tom Dolby, who is an amazing filmmaker, director, he was like, listen, I want to direct this. And so we shot it and it's out in the world. It's called Samantha Hale Horror Nerd. And it's kind of like my hour love note to the genre of horror, and it's more so about like my relationship with it. Oh my God, my cat is using a chair as a scratch. Hello, you little demon. Here she is. I have a
Oh,
familiar now. That's her. Yeah, maybe I am a witch. Maybe I have that witch thing happening because she
maybe.
just showed up, was like, "Hi, I own you now." I found her outside, and now she likes to be involved in everything, don't you, bud? Um, but yeah, so it's about like my relationship with it. How I mean, I'm sure probably for you, imagine I don't know if did you grow up like way too young watching this stuff?
Well, I wouldn't say grew up way too young, but I was definitely watching it before I probably should have.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
okay. That's okay. That just makes you cooler, in my opinion.
Completely, but I'm of a certain age. I know I look 22, but I was born in 83, so I came up 80s, 90s, and like horror wasn't that cool yet. It was still kind of like, "Ooh, you're a girl. Why don't you like Barbies?" I'm like, "Because Morticia Adams is better. That's
Right.
why I don't like Barbies." Um, but I just fell in love with it at a young age, and horror to me kind of feels like a comfort blanket in a way, and reminds me of my dad who got me into it. He let me watch it when I was 8 and ruined my childhood, honestly. I remember like the nightmares that there was one nightmare I had where Pennywise was chasing me through a Target and I'm like, is this a nightmare about clowns or consumerism? I don't know, but I remember it like clearly. That movie haunted me for many years. So that's like one of the things that I do talk about in the special. I tried to make it as like personal and vulnerable as like, oh my gosh, Fig, really? Oh my goodness.
I love it.
These tabbies are out of their minds. Like we got a tortie as well, and everyone was like, "Oh, tortie's the tortitude." I'm like, "She's a little angel baby. This tabby is insane." Yeah, you. Um, but it kind of I don't know. I've noticed like a lot of horror people have cats. I'm like, is that a thing? Are we cat people? I think we are.
We might be. We might be.
Yeah, yeah. Reptiles too, of
Yeah,
course,
of
because
course.
how
Yes,
cool is
and
that?
arachnids, obviously. Only
Obviously.
because I can't have a bat, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh my God. I cannot tell you how much I love bats. They're such magical little creatures, and we need them for the ecosystem.
Yes.
And there's actually a bat rescue, excuse me, in LA. And I'm hoping that one day I can do like a fundraiser show for them because I just admire what they're doing.
You
Bats get such a
should.
bad name. I'm like,
They
we
do.
need that. Bats and sharks. That's my jam. And killer whales, as you can see on my hat.
Killer's in the name.
Killer. Yeah, exactly.
So I think you and I are a lot alike. So I am a 91 person. So we're
Ah,
not too far of an age, but I too grew up in a time where it wasn't necessarily uncool, but like if you're a girl, you're kind of looked at slightly weird if you like this
yeah.
kind of stuff. Now it's so much more easy.
Yeah.
It's like everyone
Now
likes
we're
it to some
cool. Like
degree.
now we're the hot goth girl. And I'm like, well, what you
Exactly.
none of you would talk to me when I was a kid. And now it's cool. Damn it. Now it's cool. I'm too late.
I just want to be
Uh,
part of the club.
yeah. People don't realize I'm like, there's an entire market, there's a huge demographic of women out there. You know, of LGBTQ, non-binary, trans. Like we love this shit because
Yes.
life is kind of scary for us sometimes, right? And so
Yes.
horror is a way to process that and kind of get that trauma a little bit out of our body and know that at the end of the movie, we're still going to be in our living rooms with our popcorn bucket, you know?
Exactly, exactly. Now, in your comedy special, I really loved how you started off. Like the first thing you say, "Hi, I'm Samantha, and I'm a horror nerd." And I'm like, "Yes, me. That's totally me." Now, when people ask me, "Do you like horror? Do you like Halloween too?" And I'm like, "Yes." They're like, "Oh, you must really love it," because usually I'm like wearing something that
Same,
indicates such.
same.
And I'm like, well, I wouldn't say love. Love is not even the word for it. It's indescribable how I feel about this genre. And I really love how you started with that. And I I love that it has shaped your whole life
Yeah,
as it has mine.
yeah. Yeah, and that's why we went with the title of like, well, we're all a bunch of nerds and we're nerds for horror and I love that there's so many different types of nerd, right? There's
Yeah.
sci-fi, there's anime, whatever it is. Who cares if you feel good and it makes you feel like a kid again? I mean, I'm spending my 40s nurturing my inner child, like going back and being like, wow, what would little baby Sam thought? What would she think is really cool? What made her happy? What did she really want to see more of? And now that I'm an adult, like I can do what I want. Oh, I'm gonna watch this right now. I'm gonna go to all the horror conventions. I'm gonna go to all the haunts and I'm gonna make my poor boyfriend watch Terrifier 3 and then watch him tap out at the end and almost break up with me. It's fine. Um, yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, whatever, just I'm really into nostalgia right now. I literally just found a VCR at a Goodwill and I'm collecting horror VHS.
Yes, same. We
Right?
all are. We're all
We
going
are
through
the
the same
same.
thing.
Wait, where are you based out of?
So I'm currently in Missouri. I'm not from Missouri. My husband is Army. So we
Oh,
are
nice.
currently in
Okay.
Missouri. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you ever get out to Los Angeles, if I get out your way, we have to have a horror lunch date for sure.
Don't come here. I will come to you.
Okay.
There's nothing here.
Fair. I am quite spoiled here, honestly, in Los Angeles because there's so much to do here and there's
Yeah.
so many um, industry people and horror people here. And that's really how the idea got started was in the pandemic, we were all bored out of our minds. I couldn't work for like 2 years. So I started going to all of the different houses that we have here, the Nightmare on Elm Street house, Michael Myers house, Child's Play 2 house, People Under the Stairs house, which is
Yes.
like one of my favorites. And so I just started like just kind of joking around in front of the house, writing some new material on the fly. And people really responded to it like, wow, that's really fun. What are you going to do next? And that's how the idea really came together was, wait a minute, people want to see specifically this. And a good friend of mine, Sarah Taylor, said, well, you know what? The improv is starting to open again. They're taking submissions. Why don't you pitch this idea? And I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe they'll want to do it like October or something, and that's it. And they were so lovely and welcoming, and I'm really grateful to the Hollywood Improv. And all the improvs, really. Um, and we've been doing it for 4 years, once a month. And we do a different genre, like a different theme every month. And the comics get weird, man. It's great. I've had people I had a girl perform as the possessed television from Poltergeist. Um, This month, my friend Laurel, who's an amazing like sketch and improviser, she's doing Gladys from Weapons. I don't
I
know
love it.
what it's going to be. Iconic. Like we brought Horror Nerd to Midsummer Scream in Long Beach, which is my personal favorite.
I
I'm
missed this year. I
oh,
went last year. I couldn't
it's
go this
the
year.
best. Oh, we were there last year. I could have met you last
I
year.
know.
Dang it.
Okay. Well, next time. I at
Next time.
some point I will make it back out to Midsummer Scream. I
Yeah.
have to because I agree it is amazing. I love
The
Midsummer
best.
Scream.
Like shout out to David Markland and Claire
Yeah.
Dunlap because they knock it out of the park. It just gets better and better every year. And it was really cool this year because David was like, you know what? Let's do something you haven't done before. And I was like, okay, let me think about it. And we came up with this idea to host. I hosted a show as Annabelle, and I hosted. So Annabelle is now an anger management counselor, and she's helping other villains work through their trauma. So
Yes.
we had a Jason Voorhees, and he got heckled by his mom in the audience. We had Norman Bates, who literally did like half Norma, half Norman outfit, and just argued with him and herself for the whole set. We had Chucky. We had a ghost face who was like the one who was like, "Why don't I get any credit? I'm the guy who was hiding in the closet the whole time. That was my idea." So it's been people get so creative, which I love.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we already know horror came pretty early to you. What about the comedy part of this?
The
When did that
comedy.
come up in your life?
Yeah, unexpectedly, honestly. I was doing the acting thing from in my 20s, and it's hard because a lot of it is so out of your control. It's just you're too tall, you're too this, you don't look right, or someone just had more credits than you, whatever it may be. And I was just not like in a great place confidence-wise. And a friend of mine said, "Hey, do you want to go to the Women of Chelsea lately at the Laugh Factory?" I said, "Sure, why not?" It was Natasha Leggero and Sarah Colonna, all these amazing people. And I was so enamored. I was like, wow, these women are badass. They're confident. They know who they are. They have opinions. And I wound up talking to Natasha Leggero after the show, and she said, "Well, I used to do this show that's now a class. It's called Pretty Funny Women. Why don't you take this class?" And I did, and I thought it would be a one time, I'll never do this again ever in my life. I was terrified. And here I am, like 15, 16 years later.
Oh my
Crazy.
goodness.
Yeah.
That
I
is
didn't think
crazy.
I would have never thought I'd be a comic, let alone a horror comic. Like, what is that? You
That
know?
is very niche.
Yeah.
You
But
just
there's
get it
us,
more and
like,
more niche.
yeah, yeah. And so I have a hard time sometimes switching brains. Like when I'm on just like a more typical regular show, I have to be like, okay, Samantha, be normal. Like get them to like you, get them to know who you are, and then throw in the weird stuff and see if they go for it. Because you never know. You just never know.
What about never knowing with horror crowds? Has there ever been a time where you've been like, oh, maybe that joke was not not the
Yeah,
vibe?
no, actually, the only time that I really remember being like, fuck, was actually, so my all-time favorite movie is Halloween. I'm a Michael
Yes.
Myers kind of girl, right? And there's this beautiful former, it was like a silent movie theater back in the day, and it's beautiful. It's called Old Town Music Hall in LA, and they show a lot of screenings during spooky season of different films, and they were kind enough to invite me to come down, and they let me pick which movies that I wanted to introduce, and I picked Halloween and Dracula.
Yes.
And Dracula, I was more nervous for Dracula because I thought, oh, it might be kind of a little bit of an older demographic. They might be more like classic film fans rather than like full horror fans. But they wound up being absolutely lovely. I had a great time. And then I did the next week Halloween. And let me tell you, I made the mistake of dressing up really nice and like covering my tattoos and so I was wearing like a nice outfit because I'm like this theater is beautiful. I want to be respectful and I think they thought I was faking, like they didn't think I was one of them. And
Oh,
so they were testing me. Like they were so like they were like the hipsters of horror. I'm like, you
like
guys.
name five of Michael Myers'
They
albums.
were, yeah, I know. They were those people. They were brutal, man. Like normally I'll do crowd work to try to get people to open up and have fun with me. And I'll say, "Hey, what are some of your favorites? What are some of the first ones you saw?" And they were only like yelling out deep cuts and then trying to get me. I was like, I know what Chopping Mall is. I know what
Right.
Cannibal Holocaust is. You guys, chill out. Just it was brutal. It was hard. Like they only wanted Michael Myers. They did not want me. So I did the best I could. I had so much material too. I was like, I even roasted Josh Hartnett's haircut from H2O. What more do you want from me? I was like, come on, dude. Like, I even like I mentioned one of the most iconic, what I think moments in horror is in H2O when Janet Leigh drives up in the Psycho car, the Psycho
Yes.
music plays, and so I'm talking about this, and they were just staring at me like crickets. I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh, I was so defeated after that.
Which
It was hard.
haircut? Which
Oh, so
haircut is better? The one in H2O or the one in the faculty?
it's very similar, isn't it? Maybe
It
that was
is,
a
but is
Josh
it?
Hartnett. Yeah, I don't know. They put the same bowl on his head. I
They
don't
really
know.
did.
But the greatest thing is that there's a scene in H2O where they're talking in front of a barber shop. I'm like, he had access to help the whole time.
Yes.
He was right there.
So, what was the fun part about creating this particular special? Was there any part that you really liked doing, like filming it or crowd work, writing, whatever you needed to write? Is it anything specific?
Yeah, well, I think the fun part was really seeing Tom Dolby change the space that we shot it in. We shot it in the lab at the Hollywood Improv. He made it this beautiful cabaret club. He put lamps on each table, and we had this beautiful. I mean, we wanted to pay our respects to Elvira, to Cassandra Peterson, of course,
Yes.
and so we had kind of like the chaise lounge couch and the candelabras and the red velvet, and it was just really magical to see. Wow, this is all because of like this idea that came about just in the moment, and this is where it's led to. There's a crew here, there's so many people here donate, well, sharing their time and their talent, and we sold out two shows. And like I was scalping tickets to my own taping, which was kind of rad. I was like, I don't know, I'll try to find one for you. I'll buy it from someone else and then give it to you. It was really magical to see, like, holy shit, this is all because of this crazy little idea. That was
Is.
really cool. That was probably the moment for me of like, wow. Oh, I'm the one going on stage? Wait, oh God. It was really cool.
Going off of crowd work, was there a certain part of your set that you were surprised that people acted a certain way, whether that's a really good way, like they loved the joke, or maybe it didn't hit the way you thought it would?
Yeah, I mean that's always the thing. You don't know. You can do the exact same joke at 8 p.m. and destroy the room. You do it at 10 p.m. and it's crickets. You never know. I mean, luckily with the taping and specifically, they knew what they were in for. They were all on board, which is great. But yeah, there were some jokes that hit harder in the first taping or the second taping. But the only thing that threw me actually, and we wound up having to cut it out, was a friend of mine who's very sweet. She forgot that it was a taping and like was trying to like be funny and talk to me and like grabbed my drink off of my stool and being like, "Cheers!" I'm like, "You can't do that. This is a taping." We still laugh about it now. But that actually, in a way, I guess, is a compliment because we were trying to make it feel like so welcoming and natural and relaxed. But the thing is that people sometimes don't realize how hard comedians work to make it look like they just thought of it. It's so hard. Um, but probably my favorite moment was actually with a friend of mine, who I wrote the joke about trying not to eat sugar during spooky season, where I buy candles, like pumpkin pecan waffles. Anyway, so when I did the line about like pussy, about like I can't eat pussy, I want to, but I can't. I was single for so long, and I was raised by drag queens, and like that's why I kind of came up, and so I was like the straight girl who had this wonderful chosen LGBTQ plus family. So when I did that joke, my friend Lori, who is a lesbian, just like laughed really hard, and then I laughed really hard, and we had this inside moment because she's the one that got me addicted to Bath and Body Works. Like it's her
Yes.
fault that I buy all these damn candles. So it was a really genuine moment. I think I said something like, "Girl, you know," and I looked right at her, and that's actually one of my favorite moments. And I remember calling her after. I said, "Do you remember that? It's in the special." And she was like, "No way, it is." Yeah.
So, one, I think every girl is a little bit gay, just a little bit. And two,
Right.
yes, and two, have you ever thought of releasing like an uncut version of this? Is that a possibility?
Ooh, that's a good idea,
Yeah, because I mean, you
actually.
never know. Because like I would have never
Yeah.
known that moment with your friend taking the drink happen, and that's hilarious. So like,
Right.
I would have loved to have
Right.
seen that.
Yeah, the editing process is, I mean, I think we shot an hour 15 and we cut it to like 52 or something. Because you never know. I mean, we went through 11 drafts before we figured out what
Oh shit.
jokes we wanted. Because yeah, it was this real balance of, okay, we want to appeal to like the real nerds, right, who are going to get all these deep cuts, but we also want to make it welcoming enough to someone who might think, well, you know what, it's October, or I'm just feeling spooky today. What is this? Let's check it out. I wanted them to kind of understand the passion and maybe be inspired to watch more horror films after seeing this.
Yeah.
So there, yeah, and then there was stuff in there that we're like, oh, it's kind of like current, it's kind of topical. This might not be as relevant 3 years. So we tried to keep it evergreen. So that was another, it was, yeah, it was a lot of like fine tuning and, but that's a great idea, actually. An uncut version. It's a
Yeah,
great,
or like for a future one, just
yeah.
I don't know, before that process even starts. So horror and comedy are a lot alike. There's a tension and a release.
Yeah.
As someone who travels a line between that world, do you have any like how do you connect those two? Does it come naturally to you, or do you have to like I don't know, maybe does it depend on what you're trying to talk about if you have to find the connection between the two? How do you do that? How
Well,
do you navigate that?
yeah, I mean, you always want to ask yourself, what am I trying to say? Why am I, what do I want the audience to understand here? Like that's what it is, whether it's through horror or comedy. We want to feel understood. We want to make a point. But I think you nailed it when you said tension and release. That's literally the exact
Hmm.
like parallel is like in joke structure, right? There's a setup and there's a punchline. So it's like I'm creating tension with here's this thing that's I'm really upset about, or I'm really sad about, or I'm really passionate about. And here's this weird situation I'm going to put you in, and then I'm going to relieve you with a punchline. So it's very similar. Like, okay, the you're getting she's getting chased through the woods. Is she gonna trip? Is she gonna make it? Like, what's the relief at the end? So even like on a physiological level, adrenaline, like the excitement and fear and joy and laughter, it's all kind of similar
Yeah.
processes in our body. So sometimes when I'm afraid or I'm like nervous about a crowd or something, I try to remind myself, no, 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 you're excited. You're just excited. If you weren't feeling these nerves, it means that you don't care and you don't want that. You want to care. So I think that's the similarity. Tension release, and it's punchline or kill scene.
Yeah.
So
I've never really thought about it like that, like almost trying to convince yourself that you're feeling something else. It's like, oh,
yeah,
I should,
it's a trick. It's a trick that
yeah,
sometimes works, sometimes doesn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you could roast a horror icon, so Michael Myers,
Oh, I
Jason,
have. Oh, I
Ghostface.
have.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
I had a
okay, well,
field day with Jason Voorhees. I had a field day. We did for Halloween for October, I think, was it last year? We did the roast of Michael Myers. And I opened with a eulogy for Michael Myers because we killed him. But I think my best work was probably I went after Jason pretty hard. I mean, obviously you're gonna go for the mama's boy
yeah,
element. The like speaking of H2O, I was like the only movie that actually scared you was H2O. But yeah, I had a field day, with that there's more holes in your face than there were in the plot of Jason Goes to Hell. I mean, it was
yes.
easy. It was easy. Yeah. And I love Jason. I do. And I particularly love Kane Hodder. He's one of the best dudes ever.
I've met him at a convention. I agree. He's very
He's
nice.
delightful. I have several Kane Hodder stories, and he's so fucking cool. He's just, I mean, that story that I tell in the special about Doug Bradley challenging me to write a
Yes.
joke about him, that all happened, and I was shitting myself. And
I would be too.
what do you say when the hell priest like challenges you? And he's very like tall and stoic and British, so it makes him even more like, oh God. He's very lovely, very nice. But when I ran off and started writing jokes, once I was done with them, I went straight to Kane. I was like, Kane, this just happened, and he's like, let me hear them. And he loved him. He was laughing. He's like, this is gonna be so great. And then he started like roasting Doug. It was so funny. And the cool thing was, is I saw him at Son of Monster Palooza like in October, and I told him, hey, do you remember the Uber story? If you remember, where I'm so stupid, it's so cheesy.
Yeah.
Please watch the special, watch the specials, and you can know the dumbest thing I've ever said in my life. And I said it to Kane Hodder the first day I met him. And he was so funny about it. So I told him, I said, hey, do you remember that? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, that story is in the special and it's out and you're a part of it. And I'm so grateful. And I could tell it meant a lot to him. And so it meant a lot to me. And he's great. So I'm definitely Team Jason. I'm sure Robert Englund is amazing. I haven't gotten the
Yeah.
pleasure of meeting him, but I'm Team Kane for sure.
So I have a funny story about Kane. So I'm originally from Virginia, and there used to be a convention called Scares That Care, and it's a big charity convention. They don't have it anymore. Um, Something about running out of funds to hold it, so they do other things instead. But it was really nice. They invited a whole bunch of horror celebrities there, and I went and I saw Kane was there. I'm like, oh my God, I had to meet him. That's Jason. So I'm explaining to my now husband, like, oh, he was in this one and this one and this one. He's super cool and he has these burns on his arm. It's a whole big deal. And I go up and they do the normal celebrity things. Hi, what's up? What's your name? I say, oh, my name is Celia. And he says, I had a friend in high school named Celia. And I'm like, thank you. Not even like something to be thanked for, but like, wow, a connection. So that's
Right.
story number one. Second story is that same convention. I actually learned about this from one of my old coworkers. Her name is Carolyn. And I came back to work after this convention and I had a picture of me and Kane Hodder. And I show her, and the first thing she says is, wow, what a nice round head he has. It was the weirdest thing.
I would not
It
have
was just so
expected
funny.
that.
I will, if I can find it, I will put the picture on the screen for everyone to see what a nice round head Kane Hodder has.
It's
But
perfectly
that's
shaped, Kane. It's
perfectly
perfect.
shaped. But that's my Kane Hodder interaction.
Oh gosh. I like that. That's pretty good.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You will always have some kind of really fun time meeting celebrities at these
Yeah.
conventions.
Yeah, and you never know. Like you just life is so funny. I actually wound up I almost adopted a dog from Linda Blair and I was really excited about it. Um there was one dog in particular I was looking at. I'm like, yeah, she's great, everything. And then I wound up finding this little monster, this little tabby. And so then of course it became the question of is the dog cat friendly or not? And so I wound up like getting to know her a little bit. I thought I was emailing with a volunteer. She runs this amazing rescue called the World Heart Foundation. So
Okay, I was gonna say, does she breed dogs? But
no, oh my God, no. The opposite. She's saving dogs, like pitties. She takes a lot of pit bulls and like these are wonderful dogs. The problem in California is like there's an overpopulation of dogs and there's not enough people adopting and
yeah.
but she's a huge animal advocate and she's this wonderful rescue. So if you're in the SoCal area at all, please check out her website if you're looking to adopt. But yeah, I thought I was emailing back and forth with a volunteer, and then I didn't hear anything back for a little while because I guess they got busy. And then I'm at a baseball game in Philly one day with my boyfriend, and we had just found Fig like the week before we left, and my phone rings and it says L. Blair. I'm like, no way. And so that was the first time I like got to meet Linda. Was on the phone. We just talked about dogs for a half hour. I mean, she's so passionate about it, and it was really cool to meet her in person after that.
I love
So yeah,
that.
she does amazing work. So shout out to Linda for sure.
So, if you were to make a Horror Nerd 2 special, would you want to have it go around a certain theme, or would it just kind of be like a ragtag? We're touching on everything in this special.
You know what? That's a great question that no one has asked me yet. And I have so much more material now. And I have punched up like even some of the material that I did in the special, like added tags to it. So I don't know. I mean, I might go a little bit more niche because a lot of my material that I have been writing, like because I've been doing Horror Nerd for 4 years, like once and now twice a month. We also, I don't know if you're a true crime person at all, but there's a show on HBO called The Mortician.
Oh,
Yeah, it's very, very. This guy was doing horrible things in the 80s, and the
wasn't everyone doing horror?
wasn't everyone, right? So it's an actual mortuary that about like I think a year or two ago, these two awesome girls, Alice and Noelle, missing at the mortuary, they turned this actual funeral home into an escape room, and I
Oh,
pitched them on bringing the show there, and so we've been running the show there as well. But so I'm able to do like more niche material, and because I've already hit the main franchises, I have to get a little weirder. So I don't know, it might be like Horner deep cuts, you
oh,
know? Um, that I would try to make it like more universal to bring everyone in, but I think I'd probably appeal to like the more intense nerds for sure.
definitely. When did you film this one?
It was a few years ago.
Okay, well, I was
People,
gonna say you have a whole slew of new movies that you can move
yeah.
on.
Yeah, sometimes people don't realize it is a process. I mean, so you shoot it, right? And then you have to go through it. You have to edit, and then you have to make sure the sound, and then there's color correction, and then there's syncing, and then you have to shop it, and then you hope that someone buys it. And it's LA's it's been kind of a hard it's been a little slow industry wise. So it just took a little bit longer than it would have even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's why it took a minute, but it ultimately came out at the perfect time, and we're so grateful to Comedy Dynamics for picking it up, and yeah, meant to be. But yeah, I have so much like cooler, not cooler because it's all cool, but I think there'd be more. I think it might be more about like my journey with it as an adult
Yeah.
versus how I grew up with it.
Okay, okay, I like that. You're gonna have to let me know when that's not necessarily when it's being made, because I don't know if I'd
Yeah, I don't know
be
either.
able to go see it, but certainly when it comes out, then
Yeah.
we'll get in touch again. Now, lastly, because this is Let's Talk Terror with Friends, that's in parentheses. If you could be killed in a horror movie, one, who would you want to be killed by? And two, how do you want to go?
Oh, oh my gosh, I've never been asked that before. I don't know. I kind of feel like my joke answer, like my haha answer would be I would love Leprechaun to take me out. Where Davis is Leprechaun because it'd be so funny. I'd be like, no, do it again, do it
Yes.
again. Like I would want him to ride up on his little tricycle and like push me down a well or something. That would be hilarious. But if I wanted to go like, oh my God, this is terrifying, it might be Jack Torrance. I'd like to
Oh,
be, yeah, I'm a huge Shining kind of a girl. Um, and like so much that I've been to Awani and Yosemite, and I would love to go up to, I think it's Mount Hood to the Timberline. I
oh,
haven't
you're
gotten there yet.
so lucky.
Yeah, but I have been to the Stanley where he actually wrote the book, and that
Mhm.
was pretty epic. So yeah, I would say, come on, Jack, let's do it. I'll bring my baseball bat. Like, I got you. Let's go.
I don't know. I don't have any feelings on like who I would want to be killed by. It's like whoever is fine, that's fine. And I
Whoever's
don't,
available. You're such a
yeah.
polite victim.
And I don't know exactly how I would want to go out, but I know for sure that if I were to die, and I probably would die in a horror movie, it wouldn't be of something that I personally did. Like I wouldn't be the one, running up the stairs where you should have gone out the front door. I wouldn't be that
Right.
person. It would be me trying to help out someone who did that because they're done. And it's like, oh
Oh,
my God, can you like get your life together? And then I die.
yeah. Oh, you'd be like, girl, get out of the shower. There's a slasher downstairs. Put your
Yes,
shirt on. What are
that
you
would be
doing?
me.
I love that. I don't know which character I would be. I don't know. We all want to think we're a final girl, but
Most
I
of the time, you're
don't know.
not.
Yeah, I really don't know. I think I'd make it like decently far. I think I'd go out with a bang, like if I were gonna go out. I think. I think I would. Or I'd be like, yo, Jason, they're over there.
Yes.
Go get them. The popular kids are over there.
Yes. I should say I say that's how I would die, but in truth, I probably wouldn't be in that situation to begin with because I'm
True.
black. So
Ah, there you
I
go.
wouldn't we wouldn't be doing that kind of
You'd be like, you want to do what? I'm cool. Have fun, Brittany. Go on.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'd be there with you, like what she said. What?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone is on Instagram, please give us a follow. Check it out. There's lots of clips and we do tour the show, which is exciting. Like whenever I can get my butt out on the road and book some road gigs for Horror Nerd. I mean, October obviously is like
Yeah.
our main travel month, but it's my page is at the Samantha Hale and the Horror Nerd page is at Horror Nerd Comedy.
Awesome. I will
Oh,
link
and we have a
that.
podcast, Horror
Oh,
Nerds Podcast.
oh,
Yes.
awesome.
Yes, check that out as well, wherever you get your streaming podcast pleasure.
All of it will be in the description. I'll put it on screen too, so everyone should see it somehow.
Yes, please.
And that wraps today's episode of Let's Talk Terror with Friends. A huge thank you to Samantha Hale for coming to talk to me and nerding out about all things comedy and horror in her stand-up special. If you love this conversation, please check the description and check out her special and follow her on socials too. All right, stay creepy, y'all. I'll see you next time.